Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Welcome to Who's Your Caddy, a weekly PGA DFS talk show. Except this week, it is a major, and we don't have just PGA Tour players, but we'll talk more about that later. There are plenty of shows, articles, a plethora of tools out there to give you all the additional insight, except for what we're going to provide here for you tonight on this show. We're going to give you the information you need that might be missing and help you finalize your picks for the week. And this week is quite a doozy. Let's get into it. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning into the show. Again, I am your hostess, occasionally with the Moses, Kelly Singh. You can find me on Twitter at Kelly in Phoenix. Tonight on Who's Your Caddy, we are talking about the PGA Championship at Oak Hill Country Club in Rochester, New York. But before I go any further, I need to bring in my co-host, who really helps make this show run, Adam Hallas, Mr. Hallas on Twitter. Adam, what is up?
What is happening? Hello and welcome.
Catalina Wine Mixer.
It is. It's major week. It's another major.
It is another major. I mean, we can't have enough majors. I personally can't. I love the field in a major. It's so broad.
Mm-hmm.
So full of talent. Okay.
I was like, is she going somewhere with this?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just chatting. So tonight, for those of you who have tuned in, we're going to be talking a little bit about last week's results. The AT&T. Spoiler alert, I did pretty well. I don't know about you, Adam. What to expect this week, course conditions, a little bit about the field, etc., and our top 3 core picks, plus our famous WTF. So, Adam, start us off. How did you do last week? Anything notable?
Well, I'll tell you what. It was a weekend of sweats. Tom Kim was of the cores. I had Tyrell Hatton, Tom Kim, and then I also had after that. Who did I have? Oh, I had Eric Cole, and all 3 of them did okay. Tom Kim, I'll tell you what. Friday was he figured it out. He made the cut. But he's going back and forth, which really puts me on pause a little bit for a birdie fest. That he should have crushed that course. That course was made for him.
I agree.
But I didn't do too bad. I ended up cashing just a little. I put my worst lineup in the little Team Riser Fall contest.
Your worst lineup?
My worst lineup was in the Team Riser Fall.
Okay. Well, that's the best place to experiment for just $1 among friends.
Yep.
Why not? I played pretty well. I missed lock, wasn't feeling great, and then just completely missed it. I did manage to get my fantasy league, FSGA Experts League set, and then another fantasy league I play where you basically just pick your 3 best players and year. I managed to get both of those up, missed the DFS lock, but that is okay because if you're new to DFS, there are other contests that run pretty much every day of the tournament. I opted in on Friday for weekend. $1, 100 or 890 people came in 18th, netting me $4, a total of $5. Felt pretty great, not gonna lie. It's always good, even in small money, to just be like, wee.
Hey, you gotta get a win when you get a win.
Why not? This week, we're traveling to Oak Country Club in Rochester, New York, I mentioned, for the PGA Championship. And the last time, Adam, that Oak Hill hosted a major was way back in 2013 when Jason Duffner emerged victorious. How about that?
Do you remember the meme of Jason Duffner?
I don't.
So like he was sitting in a kid's class, and it might have been his obviously his kid's class. So why would you walk into a random kindergarten class? But he was sitting there, and he had a white hat on. He had a like a green shirt. He was leaning up against the wall. It must have been story time or nap time or in between. But he's just like, and it was like a side view, and it was the meme of the week because it was like how I'm feeling this week, and it was just a picture of Jason Duffner, like contemplating life. You know that meme, the picture of Ben Affleck just standing outside his hotel room or whatever, smoking a cigarette, going, "Oh, fuck life." It was Jason Duffner had his own. He was the Ben Affleck of the PGA Tour before Ben Affleck.
I'm gonna have to look for that for sure.
You're going to have to.
I am. I saw your little note to me. Friends, I am desperately working on this internet connection. I do not know what is up, but doing my best here. Adam, keep sending me notes if it gets crazy or just interrupt me.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll let you know. Next week we'll just get some toucans and piece of string.
Oh my gosh, that's what it feels like right now. Well, there have been some changes on the course, reining it back in. Since 2013, it was remodeled in 2020. So there have been some changes. And also, because it's a major, we're going to see players outside of the PGA, namely the Live Tour, past players, past champions from all over. So what, Adam, can you tell us about the course this week and any other notable insight about this week's field of players?
So Oak Hill has gone through some renovations. It is the Real Housewife of the PGA Tour. So it's gone through some makeovers, and it's gotten, I wouldn't say a facelift. It call it going back to the golden era of golf. So we got some green resizing. Greens are still small and probably smaller than the PGA Tour average. We have some well-placed bunkers. There's only 78 of them, but they are oh so well placed. So on the turns of fairways and right next to some pretty particular greens. So you have to get them just right. We'll talk about what we're going to be looking at for stats. But then we also have lengthening, moving back the tee boxes. And then, we have on the fifth hole a par 3 called Little Poison. And it's called Little Poison for a reason. So it's a Bush Side Stamp green. And let me tell you about the greens first while I'm on that. So we went from POA greens to Bermuda greens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a lot smoother actually. POA, you're going to have a little bit more bumps. So these greens are going to be tight and fast. And if you look at the fifth hole at Oak Hill, it is raised. It's kind of on its own land island. So it's about, I would say, 5 foot raised. And so if you miss the green on either side, left or right, you're in the bunker. If you're short you'll roll back down and probably roll back down, and you won't bogey, but you're going to have a heck of a time approaching the pin. They took out a lot of the trees. So Oak Hill was kind of known for like these tree-lined fairways. Well, they took a lot of those out. And the rough is not as thick. It's still going to be thick, but you're still able to shape some shots out there on your approach if you miss the fairways. It is going to be geared towards a lot of the bombers that are going to be bringing on to this course. Driving accuracy does a little bit come into play, but like I said, you're not really penalized too much for going into the rough. It's just long, so you just have to take every advantage that you can with it.
I read several different opinions on this, the rough and not being in the fairway, and that players with longer off the tee with more accuracy are going to have a big advantage over players who are not hitting the fairway off the tee. So
yeah, I've read differing events or differing opinions. Like I've scoured through Twitter, and one of them even had a video of somebody, practicing off the rough and trying to shape their shots.
Okay.
So, always when we look at the course fit tool, it does have a little bit of an oblong more towards the distance than the accuracy. That being said, there's some other things that we should be looking at as well.
Well, here's what I'm looking at this week. I'm after reading about difficulty in landing the greens in regulation with that runoff area, missing the green, being in a tough spot. I'm looking at approach in general. I want them to land that green. I don't want them to have to scramble. And also, I really don't want my guy to have to struggle out of the rough, whether it's super treacherous or not. I'm looking for a player that can go along off the tee and the fairway. So I'm looking at distance. I'm looking at accuracy. So those are the three that I'm looking at, because I know I'm being very selfish here. I want it all. I'm going to find it all. I feel confident this week. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I am feeling confident this week. What else are you looking at?
I'm looking at the proximity. So, of those approach stats that we look at, and I'm certainly looking at approach, I'm looking at putting. Putting is going to be a huge factor. There's some tierness to the greens. And I'm looking at proximity, so like 150, 75, 175 to 200 yards out. I'm looking at par for average scoring. And then I'm looking at bogey avoidance and birdie or better percentage and scrambling. Last, what was it? The expected scoring average is probably going to be between +1 and +2 here.
Yeah, it's playing very difficultly from what I understand.
Yeah, I think even though it wasn't here last year, the Open, I think the winning score was -6, -7, and that was only achieved because they had shot at -4 that day. So
someone had a great round.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't be surprised if the cuts at +1 and +2 this weekend. So
yeah, I mean, based on everything I'm reading, I would expect the same. And even prior to this little facelift, Oak Hill has an enormously difficult course. Just how it is. The similar courses like that are, they're just these, it feels like sleepy courses of like this old Hollywood setting, like you're looking back into the olden days. If you like it, do not play well, but
yeah.
It's fun to watch.
We are getting like almost every other word.
No.
Yeah.
Dang it.
We gotten those words. No and dang it. Those came in clear.
Why don't you give us 3 core picks that you're going to build a lap around this week?
Yeah, so I'll give you 3 core picks. And I'm going to preface this by you're going to see 17 additional players to the field from Live. And the reason you're going to get a lot of Live guys here, and you're also going to get a lot of other players coming in that you haven't seen really, I would say before, but may haven't seen in a while, is a lot of the majors actually are independently owned. So they're outside the reaches of the PGA. So like even though it's a PGA Championship, is not owned by the PGA. So the tournament owners can invite whoever they want. So that being said, the core people I'm looking at, and I keep going back and forth on this. My pool is quite extensive, but I do like Xander Schauffele in this field, along with Joaquin, the Dream, Joaquin Niemann, and then Ricky Fowler. I was going back and forth between Ricky Fowler and Mito Pereira. I kind of think they're kind of the same golfer, but one's better dressed, but we know who that is. But Xander at 9,900, I'm playing, and the reason I like him is I'm playing the Minimax and DraftKings. So I went a little bit more heavy on him, trying to get a little bit different. I know a lot of people are going to be picking John Rahm, and I know who your pick's going to be. So I'm trying to be a little bit different. So Joaquin the Dream has been playing well of lately on the Live Tour. He's been accurate. He's been long. And that's kind of what we want here at Oak Hill. And Ricky Fowler, he just punched up into the top 50. He's doing fairly well. And at 7,600, you kind of can't beat that. And he actually doesn't have a bad history here. He's gotten a lot better at this at a major event. The past 2 years, he's averaged in the teens as placement. Prior to that, it wasn't bad, but he's on a trend. I mean, his average for the I would say last 5 events, he's averaged 12th place. So you can't beat that. He's on a hot streak. Can't beat it. I like Ricky Fowler on this one too.
I like it. I'm gonna try something really quick. Hopefully, I don't ruin everything. Am I still here?
You're still here. You're still clear. Just don't talk into view.
I don't know what's going on. 3 picks for me. Scotty Scheffler at 11-2 this week. I like Scotty Scheffler because I know he's going to bring me points. So that's pretty much the biggest thing. Distance off the tee, accuracy, approach, around the green. I would even dare to say putting.
He is the all-around player. He is the prototypical, superstar golfer.
I can't help it. I'm going to play him. I know it's pricey. Hopefully, we're getting all of these important points. Sung J M at 9K. He's on a streak. 7 straight top 25 finishes, including 4 top 10s. And he's one of the better players of the T ranking in strokes gained off over the last 30 or so outings. Rounds, not outings. I saw myself blink.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I tried turning off my Wi-Fi briefly to see if that would do anything, but turning it back on now. Third, Tommy Fleetwood, 8K. Sneaky good. He's staying under the radar, which is great because it keeps his salary low and it keeps other people from playing him. He's just a very well-rounded player, but in the areas we need him to excel, he's going to excel for us. And I really like that about Tommy Fleetwood. He is not super long off the tee, not super accurate, but I think it's just enough because his approach is stellar and the rest of his game is coming along quite well. So now we're up to our WTF.
WTF. Here we go.
Give me it. Give me it.
My answer for today's WTF, this week's WTF, is Abram Answer.
This makes me laugh because Answer is a player I would throw in my fantasy league every time last year, as it was either Answer or Badly.
Oh, yeah. So Abram Answer for 7,500. If you're going to pick Scotty Scheffler and probably another dominator up at the top of your lineup, Abram Answer is going to be your pick at 7,500. He kind of fills out the average golfer that's going to be at this tournament. You know, when you're going to be looking at some of the things that we talked about as far as approach and distance, he's doing okay. His around the green is not stellar, but his driving accuracy and good drive percentage is off the charts. Same thing with greens and regulation. He's done well the past history here at majors. I wouldn't say here at Oak Hill, but in the past majors at the PGA Championship, he's done pretty good. So he does well under pressure. And then if we look at birdie or better percentage, he's great. Outside of that, he's looking pretty stellar.
You're making quite a case for Answer. I haven't heard that name in quite some time, so I like it. It's good. My WTF this week is not normally a WTF. I'm picking KH Lee.
Uh-oh.
I needed to take that call too. We're going to wrap this up. I'm going to call them right back. KH Lee at 6.7K is my WTF this week because that is crazy value to me. Course fit, perfectly rounded player. Boop, 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 boop. All the points. His biggest shortcoming.
Give me all the points.
It's going to be distance, which isn't a huge deal because he's not below average in distance. He's right on par average, but he's got more accuracy, better approach, better around the green, and better putting skills than the average player on this course in this field. So if I'm going off relative importance period this week, KH Lee is an amazing value at 6.7K, which makes me say WTF. Go for it. If I played all three of my core picks plus my WTF pick, I did some math, and I'm left with a pretty healthy salary of 15.1K to split among two more picks in this field. And it's so competitive that in the 7 to 8K range, you will have zero trouble finding a quality pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to add these in the chat, but do you have anything else of note that you want to share with us tonight, Adam?
Well, maybe we'll start a GoFundMe for your internet service provider. That's the only thing I'll add.
Great. Thank you. So just to recap, truffles. Neiman. And I already forgot.
Ricky Fowler.
How did I forget that? WTF answer. Kelly has. Who's barking? Kelly has. Who I have two. Scotty. And I go back and forth between first names and nicknames. Just how it is. And Sungbay. Plus a healthy KH Lee value. All right. And there you have it, you guys. Those are our core picks this week. Hopefully, I'm not breaking up too much. You're catching all this. I promise to fix this. I keep thinking I'm fixing it.
We'll get you more minutes.
Add more minutes to my Wi-Fi. Thanks for tuning in tonight and every week. Big thanks to Club Fantasy for hosting us on YouTube, to Women of Fantasy Football for supporting this labor of love, and to Adam for putting up with me. Good luck out there. See you next week.